Tips and tricks, part 2. My laptop. It's kind of power hungry. It takes 30 watts, 30 something watts to keep it charged. I don't know. Maybe it could be more efficient. Maybe my laptop is not the newest, but it takes 30 something watts to charge it. And usually I like to charge it on the 12 volt adapter here, because I'm not using the inverter, and the inverter causes me to use an additional 14 watts. So I don't want to do that if possible. So I try to use the 12 volt adapter as much as possible, and so I don't bother turning the Kodiak on, the inverter on, like this. That's turning the inverter on. So this way I can just charge it without using all that extra wattage. Anyways, the problem for me came up, which you might be experiencing the same problem, or you may, or you will be actually, because this is going to be a common problem. This is the Surface Pro laptop, by the way. I couldn't get it to charge for some reason. I didn't know what was going on. This was the light was on here, and the Kodiak was charged. I don't know why the laptop wasn't charging. So in my laptop power button display, it said connected, not charging. So it knew it had a power source, but it wasn't charging. So I thought the problem is either the cable or it's my laptop. So I went and put it in the vehicle and put it in my 12 volt charger in the vehicle, and it worked just fine with the cable. So I ruled out the cable. So then I was like, it's got to be the laptop. So then I went into the settings. I got rid of some device drivers, reloaded them, and added them back. And I thought I may have fixed it because it started working again, but then the problem happened again. So upon troubleshooting, I figured out that because I read some help files in Microsoft about this laptop, saying it won't charge efficiently if it doesn't have 12 volts, at least 12 volts, right? So okay, so I said, well, it's got 12 volts, but no, it doesn't, because this adapter connected to this port when the Kodiak inverter is not on. It's putting out whatever power the battery is at currently. So the battery starts at 12.66 when it's fully charged, but it can go down to 0. So every time you're using your Kodiak, you're losing battery power. Whereas in your vehicle, because the vehicle's running and the alternator is charging the battery, it's always at 12 volts. Here, it starts off at 12 and goes down to 0. So I was at I figured out that 10.9 was the cutoff where it stops charging my laptop when the Kodiak gets down to 10.9 volts. So I would just say, safety wise, general practice, below 11 volts, you're probably going to have issues charging some or maybe all your laptops. I don't know. For my laptop, that's where it happens, at 10.9. So just I keep mine at 11. I switch from this to the inverter. So I use the inverter to power everything, either through the DC plug or through the 120 volt, to get around that issue. But then again, I'm losing 14 watts by using the inverter. So just keep that in mind, that if you have any issues charging from your Kodiak with the 12 volt and the inverter not being on, below 11 volts, you might have some issues with certain appliances. Hasn't affected me with the cell phone or the power bank, smaller appliances like that. But the laptop is my biggest electronic, component, but it's more sensitive, and it needs to be 11, or around about 11 or more in volts. So if you're having that issue, or you may be having that issue if you get below 11, that's what's going on. It's not your device. It's not the cable. It's just that there's not 12 volts coming out of the socket anymore. It was in the beginning, and then it went down to below 11, and then you start having some issues. So the only way to fix that is to power the Kodiak on with the inverter, or switch it to the 12 volt, the 120 volt socket, power on with the inverter. So, I mean, I have two different connectors. I have this one and I have the 120 volt one as well. So when it gets below 11, that's what I do. So now you know, and that's it. That's part 2. Lean with it.